The one shot. We've started to see this specific type of shot be utilized more and more in film recently. From large action sequences like this scene in Children of Men, to the legendary hallway one-shots used in Daredevil, and most recently used throughout the entirety of the movie 1917. A one-shot can be pretty special, and it's become one of my favorite things to see in film. Now before we get too in-depth here, you can find me streaming on Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I promise. I'm not sick anymore, so I'll be there. And you can also find me over on Twitter and Instagram. Alright, for those unfamiliar with what a one-shot is, well, it's just that. A scene shot in one take. Not take one necessarily. One take. No cuts. If there is a cut, the camera is moved in a certain way so you don't notice it at first. A lot of times if there is a cut in a one shot, it's to change out stunt doubles or reapply makeup. Sometimes you'll see that panning camera movement, like this in Chernobyl, and there won't actually be a cut. Sometimes it's just used as a failsafe. Now during this shot, the camera follows the characters through the scene as it unfolds. It can be something as simple as the Copacabana one shot in Goodfellas that establishes the setting and gives us an insight to the characters that we're going to be spending the rest of the movie with. Or it can just be a unique way to shoot something that we've seen certain angles of several times. Like this one shot of the boxing match in Creed. All of these one-shots I've mentioned are amazing, but there's always one example that instantly comes to mind when I think of a one-shot. This scene from Season 1, Episode 4 of True Detective. There's a lot to love about the first season of True Detective. The use of multiple timelines, the impeccable script.
Hell of a bedside manner you got, Russ.
Being stupid is different than gone and sick, and this is a bar, not a fucking bedside.
Friend in need. Time I think you hit a ceiling, you just keep raising the bar. You are like the Michael Jordan of being a son of a bitch.
Come on, you're really gonna love this jacket I got.
Even the title sequence is amazing, and I'll put the link to the song for the first season in the description. It all works, and they're all reasons why the first season of the show is held in such high regard. I don't think the second season is as bad as people think.
They talk about me, I hear them. She's sick, like her mother. I can't believe Austin would do this.
Are you fucking dense?
And the third season is really strong as well. But, in my opinion, the first season is just about as perfect as it gets for television. What I love about one-shots is the pressure involved in the execution. It demands a lot out of everyone. Not just the actors.
But the women. And the children, too.
But for real, everyone has to be on point. The directors, camera crew, the workers running the boom mics, vehicles, the stuntmen and women. There's even a helicopter in this scene. I mean, come on. There's a lot of moving parts and everyone has to be on their A game. There's pressure and perfection. Director Cary Fukunaga says, quote, "It became clear quite suddenly that we could do it in a oneer. We could create this gauntlet that Cole had to run in order to survive, and it would be awesome. I just didn't know it was going to last that long. It turned out to be an 8-minute sequence when we were walking through it. It took a lot of planning. There was a lot of talking with my grips, the gaffer, cinematographer, the operators, just to lay down the things I wanted to do. I wanted to see a helicopter. I wanted to go through houses. I wanted to go over fences, and I wanted it to be unbroken. To achieve that, we required involvement of every single department, like a live theater show." End quote. So like I said, it's all hands on deck to make this shot successful. With that said, a one-shot has to have meaning for it to be something more than just a cinematic feat. How does it gain that meaning? The material has to give the audience a reason to be locked into that moment. For example, the 90-second one-shot in Chernobyl recreates the anxiety and tension that those men on the roof shoveling graphite felt in that short period of time. This meaning has to exist for the audience to care. Otherwise, the scene doesn't hold any weight. This is what works with this shot in True Detective. The proper buildup is there to give the audience a reason to care. Leading up to this scene, there are palpable stakes. There's tension, and it's wonderfully acted out by everyone involved. You follow the two main characters, Cole and Hart, through their investigation that gets them to the final scene. Just as a side note, I'd like to give a lot of credit to the show's creators for how this investigation unfolds. It's lead after lead after lead. They don't just get a little bit of information and get their man. It takes time. However, it's not just a criminal investigation that moves the episode along. It's the character development of Cole and Hart that makes the viewer even more invested. Hart is busted for his affair and has to emotionally cope with that. Hart, how you coping, buddy? We find out about Cole's old life when he was undercover, and how they both have to go above the law to get their man. An example of that is Cole stealing cocaine from the evidence locker so he doesn't show up to the meeting with his old contact empty-handed.
They really should have a better system for this.
Now all of this narrative lead-up is what makes this one-shot even more special to me. If they had put this scene at the beginning of the episode, sure, it would have been pretty awesome cinematically, but it wouldn't hold nearly as much weight. We wouldn't know why we were there, or why we should care as the audience. Here, at the end of the episode, they're one step closer to their man, Hart is barely holding it together over his marriage, and Cole has to go all in on his old life for the sake of the investigation. That, along with the skill and talent required for the shot itself, is what makes this one shot a cut above the rest. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I know I've been out of commission here for a while, but I believe we're back on track now. If you enjoyed this video, a positive rating would be very much appreciated, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Holy shit. Oh my god. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I wanna die.